Okay, I'm sitting here today with Julia Telford. Julia, I'll let you give us a bit of a spiel on what you do and go for it.
Sure. Hello, everybody. As Joe said, my name's Julia Telford. I'm based in Gundawindi in southwest Queensland, and I've got a consulting business called Engage and Create Consulting. We work with community groups, small businesses and industry groups, really helping them with strategy and also looking at, once people have identified what they want to do, what supporters they might need. So is that financial support, in which case we might help them with grant writing and sponsorship, or sometimes it might mean that they need some extra people around their table, remotely or otherwise, to help them implement that strategy.
Yeah, cool. So, Julia, you're a big advocate for the remote working world,
Yes.
and you use a variety of different contractors.
Yep.
Can you talk us through a bit about the sort of people that you engage with as remote employees
sure.
or team members?
Yep, absolutely. And I'm also really aware of all of the stuff I can't do. So
Yeah.
I have come across really great people. Like you, I get to travel across Australia a lot, and so often I'll come across somebody who has got the right skills and is the right personality to be able to work in my business, and I am realising more and more I don't need to physically see them for them to be able to play a really vital role in my business. So I have a lady who works with me around social media and marketing, and that role is growing as she understands my business more, and as she's able to help me. And also in recent times I've been a little unwell, and I've needed we'll
to
have a
devolve
teleconference,
really
we'll everything that I do.
session.
So map out what is the social media that we want to do for the next 2 months. What are the blog posts that she wants to write? So what's the theme that we need to have for the next period of time? When are the dates that I need to have information sent through to her? So we'll have a phone conversation. And we'll map a lot of that information out, and then she'll email me if she needs me, or we might Skype again. We have looked at using Asana as a tool in the past, and I'm probably the person that falls down on you doing my end of that, but I do agree that that's a really good tool to use. We probably really technically use mobile phone and text messages to be able to talk to people in between, but she'll help me map out the blogs. She'll put them up, post them for me, link it to social media. So I'll still do a lot of the writing. She might do some writing for me and look for articles that fit our theme for that month or that period of time, and she'll do that. We're also in the process of trying to be able to better use our database, so she's been looking for a CRM, customer relations management tool that we can use. And so for me, I am, as I said, really happy. She's got the skills, she's got the right personality, she gets who I am and understands the clients that we want to work with, and so can really slot in easily. And so even if she is writing for me, hopefully most of the time people don't realise whether it's me or Cami. There's a bit of a difference, but really she's quite good at being able to pick up my voice and go with that, and particularly in recent months I've really needed that. So so certainly with her, and then I've worked with other remote contractors to be able to deliver on particular projects. So I've had people do some case studies, work with me on case studies. So often I'll have the contract and I'll be doing the project, and I just need some extra arms and legs.
So you'd mentioned earlier that previously when you'd found these remote employees, it was often by chance, or that you happened to meet them along the way. So
then I met you, Joe, and
then
I
you
found
met
out
me.
you got them all
I
already,
know.
so
Well, I
great.
was about to ask, like, how does this miraculous unicorn that is Pointer, what does this mean for your business?
It means I don't have to trip across the countryside and find all these people. You found them already.
You don't have to spend time in pubs hanging at the bar to find people.
Well, I don't have to pretend I'm working at the pub anymore,
true,
maybe.
True.
Well, for me, I think there's a couple of things. One is that these great people who I have found across the countryside, I can actually send to you, because I think they are going to be a really great addition to the Pointer remote team. And so whilst Cami is doing work for me, I think she would also offer value to a whole lot of other businesses. So
you're recruiting for the job matching platform.
Well,
Thanks.
there you go. Aren't you glad you bought me that beer earlier?
I know.
So I think for me it's about being able to, some of the people I've been working with will be really great to be part of your team. But also I think it is important. I believe as a small business owner myself, I can't afford to employ a lot of people, even though I have various jobs that I want to be able to do. And so I have previously employed somebody full time, and I found that really difficult given the lumpy nature of cash flow, and I found that really stressful. And for me and for my employee at that stage, and I just don't think that's the best model.
Okay, my last question is for you. You are a regionally based small business. What do you think are some things that other small businesses might see as roadblocks or as something to be almost frightened about with putting someone on that they can't see physically in the office? What do you think some excuses, I suppose, that people might have that you could almost myth bust for them?
I think sometimes I think they're the same myths, whether it's putting somebody on remotely or putting somebody on who'll physically be with you. By the time I tell somebody how to do it, I may as well have done it myself. And I think that identifies for me that we're not clear on our system and we don't have a proper process ourselves. So for me, that's a bit of an ego thing. I've had to swallow myself to get over that and realise that actually everybody's capable of writing and doing what I'm doing. I'm not that clever. So I think, but I think it's for me the myths are fairly the same, really. So it's easier for me to do it than tell somebody else. You know, they're not going to understand what I need them to do. So I don't really buy into many of the myths, to be honest. I also think that for most of us as regional and rural people, we actually remotely have a whole lot of people engaged in our business. We just don't think about it that way. Our bank manager doesn't often sit at the kitchen table with us, and yet he does stuff, or she does stuff. Our accountant is very rarely face-to-face with us, and yet we really hope that they're doing a good job for us. So I actually think we have a whole lot of advisors, people in our business that are part of our business team who are not based in our house or in our office, who are working remotely on our behalf. So I think we need to just rethink that a little bit. And the important thing is, and again, whether they're face-to-face or whether they're remote, it is regular communication, being really clear about what our expectations are, having some clarity around the amount of time we see a job taking was a really big thing for me. I would kind of say, I need you to do this. But what I didn't give was enough context around, and I would spend about 2 hours doing it, not 3 days. So, you know, some of that kind of stuff is having clear,
having clear guidelines, almost KPIs, but you don't mind when the work happens. It just needs to happen to the certain
come back to me
standard.
by this stage. You know, if you know, and that's the conversations that I will have. You know, this is in the next month. This is a by Friday job. You know, so let's be clear about what needs to happen when. And also, I've gotten better at putting some timing around how long I think some of these jobs will take. And come back to me if you spent 2 hours and you think it's a 3-day job. It's generally my fault.
Yes,
I've generally underestimated how much time that job would take, and so we just need to rejig it.
Wonderful. Now, where can people find you online, your business?
My business name is Engage and Create Consulting, so you can find me on Facebook. You can find a really terrible website, which is our latest remote job that we're working on, at engageandcreateconsulting.com.au, and you can email me if you'd like, Julia@engageandcreateconsulting.com.au.
Awesome. Thanks, Julia.
Pleasure.